This video is in English language for Gaza and the minister and the people for Gaza. I want to talk about the Quran and this teaching, what is written in the Quran and what they make is against what Muhammad teach. Jihad was teach Muhammad is a holy war, war to fight for the right on the right side and for Allah's teaching and what is written. And Muhammad was never teach such things to kill holy people in Canaan. This is against the law. At first I want to tell that I study as a theological people in 3 languages, all the scripture, but this study is not the same, but the teacher study is maybe not the same as a prophet teaching, but God himself showed me all the meaning about the scripture, and what I told now is true and for all the Islamic people. Muhammad wrote the Quran in such a form that he not wrote his own life. He not wrote the Quran, when you read the Quran, he not wrote that was a poor shepherd, was think so that this is good and this is not good. Was go on the way and I was teach this and this. Muhammad was not wrote such thing. When you read the Quran, it's written so that we make the way and we give people food. We will send the prophets to Sodom and Gomorrah. We will send Noah. We will send the flood. Who is this we? When you read the Quran, who is this we? We is always many person, not one person. When Muhammad wrote his own teaching, he wrote, so I was give food, I was sent flood, I was this and this. But Muhammad was never wrote such thing that I was teach and I was sent flood and I was sent prophets. No, Muhammad was wrote the Quran so we will send the prophets to the sinful cities and we will send the flood. We was this and this and this. Who is this we? I know who is this. Muhammad was a poor shepherd and he was shepherding in the mountain, and in the cave he was always talk with the angel. This same angel was sent to Mary, and the angel was Gabriel. Gabriel was talk to Muhammad and was commanded to write the message in a book. And it was a message from the angels from God. And therefore Muhammad wrote so. The Gabriel angel was recite. Recite is in German language rezitieren. We make the earth, we make the we make the way free for the prophets. That the angel was taught so that there is a atmosphere from the angels, and on earth was the prophet. And the angel was taught like this, that we in heaven created the earth. We in heaven give the humans food. We was looking for the sinful city and send the prophets. The angel was taught like in this atmosphere where our God and the angels was live. It's not the we not mean that the Islamic people created the earth and the Islamic people sent Noah and floods. No, the angel talk like the atmosphere from God, that they created all these things and they will send the floods and plagues and the prophets and the scripture. And Muhammad just wrote in the Quran. Muhammad not wrote his own fantasy or his own teaching. He wrote what the angel was talk to him. And when you read the Quran, the angel was talk all these things what is written in the Bible also. The angel was talk about when a sinful city makes sin against God, then they send at first prophets, and then they can send flood or plagues, as in Noah time, or in Sodom and Gomorrah, or the grateful city in Nineveh. The prophets God sent when God in heaven see that people sin against the law. When people sin against the law and become evil, God was always sent prophets. Sodom and Gomorrah was sinful city. Then the angels come also and talk with such people who are good and listen him, the angels. And then this prophet go to the city and talk, you must repent, you must repent. When not, God will destroy you. And the prophets must always say the sins from the people. Moses was a prophet, and he was the Egypt people was not listen about Moses. Therefore, the plagues come, as in Sodom and Gomorrah also. And in Noah or Noe time, it was the same. And Muhammad become the same mission. God was see that in Egypt time they worship many Baals. God was see it, that they worship many Baals. In the temple was more than 600 false Baals about stone. And Muhammad was try to clean the temple and was prayed the people and asked the people to learn the law from Moses, because Muhammad is written in all the Sura. The real God is Moses' God, and therefore Muhammad commanded to learn the scripture from Moses' God, the real God. Scripture, or in German Schriften. In English I wrote the Quran also. There are written scrolls. This scripture is the Torah and the law. And then Muhammad was commanded, you must learn the scripture from Moses. Just this scripture from Moses will save you. How many people, Islamic people, learn the scripture from Moses and study the Torah? No one, no one. Therefore, they are not understand what is written by Muhammad, and they are false Islamic people, and we go in hell. When you not understand what Muhammad wrote and do killing, murdering, and kill your brother from Abraham, because the Jews are your brother from Abraham, this is against what Muhammad teach. The Islamic people must study all the prophets, all the scripture, what is written, all the names are here, or from all the prophets what was sent by Allah, because all the prophets was sent by Allah. Noah or Noe, Moses, and Isa is Jesus, and Muhammad warned, when you not read the scripture are the Bible prophecies. The Bible prophecies is the scripture, and the prophecies teach you what you must to do. And so the Muslim people or Islamic people must read the scriptures, but what are in the Bible. When they not do it, but they not just must read it, they must do it and learn it and follow it. Then they are not good Islamic people and will die on the last day. Muhammad was clear. Moses' God is the real God, and read and study the scripture from Moses and the law, and teach Isa Evangelium. He was the great prophet, and teach the Evangelium from Jesus. And when you not do it, you will not resurrect it. How many people from the Muslim people teach Isa Evangelium, Jesus Evangelium? No one. They kill everybody who teach the Evangelium and cut their head. This is not written by Muhammad. They do the Satan's work. They do the Satan's work and not what Muhammad commanded. How many people was read the law of Moses? No one. And they kill, murdering, and make evil things. And therefore, flood continue and plagues continue. And it's very easy just understand one book. This is just one small book, the Quran, and then when you understand this small one book, you must read all the prophets who was sent by God and wrote scrolls. The scrolls are in the Bible from all the prophets. You must read it all, and learn it and do it. And Jihad is to fight for the law, for the right, for the human right, and what was teaching by the prophets. Jihad not can to be killed the brothers with rockets and fight and cut people's head and bombed cities where are living children and women and innocent blood. Muhammad never teach such evil things what Gaza do and what Islamic people do. Muhammad teach from all the prophets who was sent by God, and all these prophets are written in the scripture, in the Bible scripture. And when I see this cabaret, because this is a cabaret, it's a shame. It's a shame when they kill each other. Abraham was their father. Abraham have one son, Ismail, and the second was the Israelites, and they have one father. And it's clearly, is also written in the Quran, the Jews become the land of Canaan, and the Arabic people become the Arabic land, where now Dubai and all this land are become the Arabic people in Mecca region. And every brother become two lands because was two brother. Hagar go to the Arabic land, and the Jews become Canaan. And no Islamic people can say for God, when Islamic people say for God that they want to rule alone the world without God's will, and that they are greater as God, and they are the only brother from Abraham who want to rule the world alone, and that the Jews not become a land, then they are satanistic evildoer. Muhammad was here written in the Quran that God Allah bring out the Jews, is written in every surah. Allah bring out the Jews with Moses and give them the land in Canaan, the 12th land. This belong to the Jews. It's written here. And Hagar, the Ismailis become the Arabic land, Dubai, Mecca region. And when it's written here that Allah give the land to the Jews in Canaan, every brother become a land. Every brother become a land. Why they rebel against Allah's will, what is written also in the Quran? This is a question. This is a question. Every nation have a land. Every nation have a land. And the Jews become the land in Canaan is written by every prophet, by the Quran also. And I think the Arabic people have more land as the Jews. The Arabic people live everywhere. The Arabic people live in Egypt, in Africa, in Syria, Assyria, in Europa. They have every land on earth, and they not want that the Jews become a small land in Canaan. When they do such thing for Allah, they will never resurrect it. This is an evil thing, and when they not study the another prophets, their knowledge is nothing. When they not study the another prophets, as Josiah and Hezekiah also, they was the biggest prophets. Hezekiah was see the Allah vision, and he was see also Allah, and see the temple, what is written by Moses, also the temple. And when they just fight against the prophets' scrolls, they are from jinns and Satan. And I tell you the truth, from all the people description I was fulfilled for their own eyes when I was bringing the cornerstone in 2019 to Jerusalem. Zechariah 4 see women who are clean, and clean is mean that this woman never was eat unclean things, and he will bring the cornerstone with 7 eyes, and after them it's time to build the house of God. And when they not do it, is written also by Josiah. Josiah 28 say the same as Zechariah 4. The cornerstone are in Jerusalem, and when they not want to buy Allah's house, the flood go every day, flood go, flood, flood, flood. And Allah will destroy with flood their own house. And the flood go and will continue. Is not a holy thing. A flood is not a holy thing. Rain for the vineyard is holy thing. A small good rain. But flood is a plague was. It's meaning that Allah is angry. When Allah sends flood and hail and storms, it's meaning that Allah is angry because no one want to buy Allah's house. And they worship false house. They worship false house, and no prophet was say in history that you must worship another house as God's house. When such prophet go to Jerusalem, you can worship a royal house, a satanistic royal house. You can worship a Nazi house. You can worship a Baphomet house, or worship another house as Allah, God's house. Then this prophet is a false prophet. Every prophet was go to Jerusalem to the kings, then they was worship another house as God's real temple and the law. No people can say that they are believing God when they worship another false house and not want to buy God's real house that God can return. And Biden, I was wrote, not just Biden, I was wrote Donald Trump. Everybody can help me to buy the temple, because God showed me the temple inside also. Ezekiel saw the temple just outside. But Allah was sent me many vision. I was see inside the 30 big building inside. And the 30 big building inside have many furnitures or garnitures, many meuble, I don't know what is it, meuble. And I saw exactly the inside buildings, how they must look like. And nobody want to listen. When nobody want to listen to the prophet, they are not worship the real God, and they are almost on the false side, on satanistic side. No man can worship two houses. It's impossible. When man try to worship two houses, I worship a house from human, and then he go on the wall and pray, and not want to buy the real house from God. This will nobody have. Nobody will this have. China, I was told everyone become every day a new flood. Asia also, Russia also, and this Dschihad is clear to fight for God's law. And God's law was written by God himself: never kill, and never destroy and make evil things. So why Gaza sent rockets on his holy brothers, the Jews in Canaan? Because it's written, Moses bring them, the Jews in Canaan, Allah give them the land, the 12 land there. And Hagar become the Arabic land. And when you kill your brother, you are the Cain nation, and Cain was damned by God in the beginning. Because about jealousy, Cain killed Abel, and God himself was told, who is jealousy and try to kill his own brother about jealousy will never resurrected. This nation who are jealous about his own brother and try to kill it, will never resurrect it. On the last day, all his family go in hell. Descriptions are true. And the Arabic people have the most land on earth, and the Jews just become the 12th land in Canaan, is written by Muhammad also. And who killed these people is not from God, is from Satan. And Jihad was never taught by Muhammad to kill the brothers and the holy people from Musa. What they do is Satan's will, and the Vatican just watched this cabaret, this Fosh house, the Nimrod house, watch this cabaret, not teach the law. When a priest not teach the law of God, he is not a priest from God, he is a priest from Baal. When a priest sit in a temple, a Nimrod temple, and not can teach the law from God, then he is not a priest from God, then he is a priest from Baal. He teach his own thinking, the Vatican Roman Bull's teaching, but therefore he's a Baalim priest and not a priest from God. And when the priests who say they are priests sit in false temples and watch this cabaret, what is against all the prophets, they are not priests from God. It's clear. The priest must teach, the Levites must as a priest teach Musa law. And when the priest not teach Musa law, he cannot be a priest. This is clearly. And the cornerstone is there with 7 eyes. The 7 eyes is very clear in the scripture, not in the Old Testament, in the New Testament also is written by Apocalypse 1, but it's in many scripture written that God has 7 eyes, 7 spirit, and seven lampsticks, and he watch everybody, and he know everybody's sin, he know everybody thinking, and on the last day everybody will know who make this and this and this, because he wrote every day many books in heaven with the prophets from every kingdom and their deeds against the prophets and Allah. And the 7th spirit of God is this lampstick, what Moses was commanded, and what is written in Apocalypse, that the lamb have 7 eyes and 7 horns, and with this he see everything, and therefore all the kings on earth want to kill the lamb, because the lamb see everything and warn them always, but the kings on earth not can repent and try to slaughter at the lamb with 7 eyes, and it's fulfilled for their own eyes. No king can repent, just make mishit, false houses, Nimrod houses and false royal houses, not allow that God become the temple, not allow that I buy the temple for God, because they worship their own house, they look for their own glory, and when Israel try to resurrect it, they must see the truth, that no prophet come to Israel and commanded worship false house, because when I teach such thing, you must worship a false house, then you go in hell, Israel. Every prophet was sent to Israel to worship the real house of God. Just then you will be resurrected. And when you angry with me because I not teach this, you must worship false houses, then your anger is not just for me, your anger is also for God who want to return. Because God will not live in a royal house, God will not live in a Vatican, and God will not live by Pitiplatch, Russia, this Hagyma, Cupola, Goyim temple. And Israel must be happy that I'm here, because the scriptures are fulfilled every day. I try to buy the house, and who not allowed to buy the house of God is Satan. And flood will not stop. Flood is a plague from Allah and not a holy thing. Holy thing is rain, but flood who is over as a half meter is a plague from God. And when they not see that every land suffer from flood, as written in Josiah, then they are blind. And when man not can give a prophet human right, is also Satan. Mohammed was born when you not give a prophet human right, and when you not give a woman human right, you are Satan. And I have no human right, even when I'm a prophet, and diplomat also, and everybody just watch this suffering. Nobody can tell that they are belong to God when they not do what is written and commanded by Moses and the prophets. Moses and Mohammed was never commanded to try to rape a prophet in his agony and not give the prophet human right. What they do, they do Yazabel Satan's will all these years, but not what Allah wants. They just every man want to rape me, but not listen what I told. And every man are from Satan. When I meet a man, I see the evil mentalistic thinking, and the knowledge is more or less as a mentalistic bitch on the street. And this cabaret will not end just when they buy the house. It's time now. The Syria wars are finished. Now they must buy the temple. The cornerstone is there. The floods go, and when they not want to buy the house, the floods will not stop. They will not stop the floods, and then they have no food, because when China lost all the rice is food, and when everybody lost all their lands about flood, a big hunger and suffering will come. And when man not can, this is the fight. Man must listen the prophet. The fight, the real jihad, will be to build the temple. This will be the real way, the real Allah's way, to build the house of Allah. And when they not can fight for Allah's will on the right way, they not know what is jihad. They do satanistic shit, jinn shit, but not the real way, what God wants and what is written by all the scrolls, all the prophets. A man must fight, not just pray. A man have power when he can buy the house of God, of his father. Not just sit and pray, or killing, murdering with rockets. This is not power. This is a mentalistic behavior. The real power is listen to a prophet, follow to the prophet, and fight for the right and God's will. And nobody can do it. It's a strange thing. Thank you.